How's it going, everybody? It is iVisual. I hope you guys are having a beautiful day, and welcome back to another Pokemon Ultra Sun and Moon Wi-Fi battle versus Rose over here in the OU tiers. So, just gonna lead off with my Breloom. It is gonna be Choice Banded Jolly Nature with Spore, Bullet Seed, Mach Punch, and Superpower. Just gonna try and go for a Spore, but unfortunately switches into the Tapu and Electric Terrain allows it to not be put to sleep. So any monsters that are grounded, at least. So I'm going to switch out because I do not want to take maybe a potential Dazzling Gleam or HP Ice, or, you know, stay in because they can't really do anything. So I'd rather just go to Tapu as he throws off a Taunt. And I was like, interesting. So this might be screen Tapu Koko when I see Taunt. So I'm just going to throw off a Wood Hammer and just try and knock out the Tapu Koko since my Tapu is going to be Choice Scarfed. And it's able to outspeed Tapu Koko. But he just switches in Shuckle, and I'm actually able to two-shot the Shuckle coming in. I'm like, wow, okay, cool, Tapu, you don't mess around with Wood Hammer in grassy terrain. That thing is going to get blown back. Probably max Def, I would say, with Shuckle. That's usually what I run, so maybe they ran that as well. But maybe if it was max defense, it would live two Wood Hammers, possibly, because I am running just Jolly Nature on this Tapu. So, actually brings in the Tapu Koko over here. I was like, man, you don't even knock me out with anything unless you're Hidden Power Poison. And nobody runs that, so unless you're Brave Bird and Fly MZ, but hey, nobody runs that either. So I'd rather just stay in and go for Wood Hammer because nobody runs Taunt with that. So he does just throw off the screen as pretty much expected right there. And then Magearna comes in and takes absolutely nothing from that Wood Hammer. I mean, to be expected since it's resisted. So now I'm gonna switch out my Bulu into Heatran over here. Hopefully it's not gonna be Fighting Z Magearna, or else then my Heatran would get blown back. But at least it's not, because usually it's a Soul Vest. So I'm going to fire off my Firium Z since Rose doesn't have too good switch into it. And if it is a Soul Vest, it'll do a decent chunk. It does not one-shot Magearna if it is a Soul Vest, though. And I'm thinking it is since it just showed Flash Cannon, unless it's going to be like Trick Room. I've seen Trick Room with Flash Cannon before. So it does live that, but really weakens it to the point where it can probably get one-shotted by anything on my team. So that's really nice. Brings in Tapu Koko, goes for the light screen, so both screens are up, reflect on light screen, and I just knock out the Tapu Koko with an Earth Power, since I'm pretty sure the last move of Tapu Koko isn't really going to do anything to Heatran either way. If it potentially might be able to knock me off with the Z move, though, but I feel like it's just going to be Light Clay. So it brings in the Mew. I'm like, alright, so screens Tapu Koko, this is going to be a setup Mew. I'm just going to go for the Taunt on there so it can't Nax Plot and Rock Polish while it's in front of my Heatran, at least. It has to pick either or try and knock out the Heatran in front of it. So actually it's packing the Aura Sphere right there, so that's pretty interesting. Usually I would see Focus Blast because that KOs more mons like Ferrothorn more effectively, but sometimes you would see Fire Blast on Mew as well. But I guess Rose does not want to miss, which is understandable since Aura Sphere never misses. So now knocks me out with the Psychic right there. After I do a little bit of chip damage with Magma Storm, Reflect wears off, and now I want to go into my Tapu Bulu because Tapu Bulu does not get one-shotted by a Psychic, hopefully, by a Modest Mew. I'm guessing he's Modest, and then throws off the Psychium Z, which, not Psychium Z, the Immunium Z, which should be able to one-shot the Tapu, which I was trying to bait in. Now the Mew still hasn't Nax Plotted yet, and because it is taunted, and then I can go into my Seismitoad after Tapu Bulu goes and gets knocked out. Even though the Psychic Train is going to come up and then Psychic's power is going to be a little scary, it's still doable since Seismitoad, like I said, can live. It's really bulky, has a lot of HP, it's max HP, but it's max defense. So I'm going to try and land a Toxic on this Mew over here so that I can put it on a timer and then hopefully not miss, and then hopefully Mew will not sweep my entire team, because it's potential that it might be able to. Even though I do have Reuniclus, and Reuniclus can take any hit from the Mew, and my plan was to maybe Toxic stall the Mew as well. Even though my Reuniclus doesn't have a good ability, a good item right now since his Grassy Seed, and that raises his defense in Grassy Terrain, and I can never get the Grassy Terrain back up since Tapu Bulu got knocked out. So actually the Mew tries to set up again as I go for Earth Power, so weakened it a lot right there as I got a crit. And now pretty much it only has one more hit to live, and I'm like, I want to keep my Seismitoad. It could come in handy versus the last few mons on Rose's team. Just in case, even though my Breloom seems to be really good for the last mons on the team. But I just stack my Arrow since Arrow doesn't really have much to hit the last few mons on Rose's team. It has Stone Edge, Fire Fang, and Ice Fang, and Roost. So I don't have Aerial Ace to hit the Mega Lop in the back. So now I bring in Reuniclus. Reuniclus seems like the best bet over here since it can pretty much live anything, I would say, on the opposing side team. And actually try to fake out me right there. I'm not too sure. I guess they forgot about Psychic Terrain's effects. I'm not too sure. I mean, Rose is a skilled player, so I don't know. Either way, I don't think it mattered because they just got a crit with knockoff right there. It's Life Orb Zero Aura. It would have been able to two-shot me, that's for sure. I'm pretty sure Zero Aura would be able to two-shot me if they didn't go for a fake out, but like I said, it does not matter because I have my banded Breloom in the back and I can just click Mach Punch and knock out the Lopunny in one shot. I can knock out Zero Aura after Reuniclus went down, and the last mon is Magearna, which would get demolished by the Mach Punch at the range of that, since that barely any HP at all. So it actually goes for a pup right there, but that's not going to save you from a banded Breloom, unless you're going to be like fake out quick attack Mega Lopunny, and then maybe if you want to keep your fake out Zero Aura in the back, I mean, like, you can try and like do all that priority and stuff, but you're still going to lose some mons here and there. Like, you're probably going to lose 2 mons maybe a max, because maybe you want to sack 2 mons and keep Mega Lopunny with the fake out and quick attack, because maybe that's possible, because Breloom isn't really going to take all those priority hits if it can't move. But yeah, Breloom just demolishes everything with Mach Punch, pretty much. So, GG to Rose. Now next up we got Trey over here with the Chansey and the Mega Medicham and Tornadus. Cool team by Trey. And then the Greninja and Tapu Koko. Really offensive momentum mons right there. So, gotta be careful, as he does have the tools to pretty much break down my team if he has the right predictions and the right moves on his Pokemon. So right off the bat, lead off Tapu Bulu, get that Grassy terrain up as it leads off with frickin' frogs. I'm going to switch out because I do not want to risk him to have gunk shots, because that's a very real threat. As I go into Seismitoad, since it covers all bases pretty much, as he just throws off a U-turn. So right off the bat, he is Protein, so that's good to know. I'm guessing he's going to be Choice Scarfed as he goes into Tornadus. Now, Tornadus coming in as I get all that Leftovers and Grassy Seed. Like, I pretty much took nothing from that U-turn. I don't want to stay in because I don't want to take a Hurricane, and as a matter of fact, I don't want to take a Flying Z as well. And potentially, I don't know, it's Tornadus on Grass not? I think it does. So, might as well just switch out into Aerodactyl since it covers all the bases like that. And also, if he wants to knock off, I could take that as well. But he just throws off a Taunt, so I'm like, okay, interesting. He has Taunt. So maybe it's a bulky Tornadus. Probably. So I just throw off a Stone Edge over here as he actually goes to Chansey, which is pretty decent for me, even though Grassy Terrain is going to heal him a little bit. So it's not the end of the world for Chansey. But pretty much forces him to either roost up or, soft boil or attack me. Or maybe if he wants to get up rocks with his Chansey, if that is his rocker, I would guess. Maybe he trans the rocker on his team as well. But I go into Breloom either way. And now I tried to predict the Tornadus to want to come in, but I should have just clicked the Bullet Seed and just picked up potential kill on the Tapu Koko. Every time they bring their Tapu Koko in on my Breloom when I try to Spore, they just know I'm going to do it. So I'm like, alright, whatever. I'm going to go to Seismitoad and just utterly wall this Tapu Koko. Since Tapu Koko usually don't have much to hit Seismitoad at all, so I'm pretty much free to get my rocks up here. But nope, he hits me with that Grass Knot. I'm like, oh, well then, you don't see that every day on the Tapu Koko. The one Tapu Koko with Grass Knot. Well, that sucks, and he's also Life Orb as well, so down goes Seismitoad. But now I can bring in my Tapu Bulu. He might think I'm a Soul Vest, stuff like that. So I might catch him off guard over here with the Choice Scarf, and I do, and I clap him with that Wood Hammer, and down goes Tapu Koko. So we both caught each other off guard right there, which is pretty insane. But I don't know, I probably should have scouted, but like I never see Grass, not Tapu Koko, and I guess maybe he should have scouted, but you never really see Scarf Bulu, so. He brings in Heatran as I go into my Aerodactyl. I'm hoping he doesn't go for a Flash Cannon. Sometimes Heatrans don't really carry Flash Cannon unless they're Z-move Heatran, or maybe if they're Scarf Specs. So yeah, he just goes for the Earth Power, probably predicting me to go into my Heatran. As now I pull a switch into my Heatran, seeing if he wants to go for a Flash Cannon, if he does have it, since I don't have a good switch to hit his Heatran with my Aerodactyl. But he went into Tornadus, and then now I can go for a Magma Storm, hopefully, and then he switches into Chansey, which is amazing for me, because now I trapped a Chansey, and then I can taunt it, and it can't go for a soft boil, and this is why Heatran is amazing. To trap these dang pink blobs so that your special attackers in the back can go in, because if it wasn't for Magma Storm Heatran, then none of my special attackers in the back will do anything at all. So trapping it is really amazing for me. Like, getting rid of Chansey is just always huge. I always love trapping a Chansey with my Heatran. Though Magma Storm, it does suck sometimes because you do miss. It's 75% accuracy. But when it hits and it connects, you feel so good. It's just so rewarding. So he tries to damage me with Seismitoad Toss, but it doesn't really matter too much. And my last moves on Heatran are also going to be Earth Power and Will-O-Wisp, which is nice. Maybe if you want to predict a Zygarde to want to come in, you can Wisp it and burn it, which is always good. So he brings in Medicham as I pull a switch into my Tapu Bulu, but he makes a nice double going into Greninja, as I know it's Protein, so I'm like, alright, he's probably want to throw off maybe an Ice Beam or a Gunk Shot. I still don't know if he's Choice Scarfed or not. He could be Z-move Greninja as well, because he didn't throw off a Z-move just yet, so he could be. But I'm going to switch in my Heatran since it covers all bases like usual. Gunk Shot, Ice Beam, maybe potential, I don't know, nothing much, that would want to hit Tapu Bulu and Heatran, so maybe Ground Z, but he want to go for that on the Tapu Bulu. But you could see that sometimes. So now I fire out the Firium Z as he switches out, as he's probably locked in Ice Beam since he's Choice Scarf Greninja, and now I pick up a kill with my Firium Z, and in comes Medicham, and down goes the Medicham to this Firium Z, which is just beautiful for me. So I thought maybe he would want to switch into his Heatran, but at the same time I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna do it. Like, he probably might expect me to throw off an Earth Power, so that's why he wanted to go into Medicham right there. So now I stay in on the Heatran over there as I hit him with the Earth Power, and he actually lives it. So I was like, is this Spadefran? I'm guessing it is, because that's like one of the only ways they could live. So he just throws off a Flash Cannon, I guess expecting me to switch on to Aerodactyl right there. Smart play, and I was actually surprised he had Flash Cannon on a Spadef Heatran. But luckily that does nothing to my Heatran since I 4 times resist it, and I can knock him out with my second Earth Power right there. So Heatran putting in that work. He brings in his Greninja, which really doesn't scare me too much, but just an off chance he does have like Hydro Pump, I'll just switch into Tapu Bulu and take the hit. I mean, you never really know. He might just try and go for a Rock Slide and just flinch me down. But he actually throws off a Low Kick, which surprised me. So, I mean, that's pretty decent to hit opposing Tyrannotars, I guess, if you run into that. And it does decent amount to Magearna, I guess, with the Soul Vest, but I'd rather have Life Orb with Low Kick, honestly. That's why I like. Maybe he would be Fighting Z as well. But I throw off a Stone Edge as he actually goes in Tornadus. Get the nice critical hit. I don't know if that mattered. Probably did, since Tornadus is really bulky. But I made a prediction and it got him. And plus, at the same time, it hits the Greninja as well. Since Greninja, I'm pretty sure, is just not locked into Low Kick. So over here, pretty much doesn't matter what the Greninja wants to go for, since I'm just going to sack my Tapu Bulu either way to it, since whatever it locks itself into, it can't really beat the entire rest of my team at least. So he locks himself in Rock Slide, sadly missed the first one, and then I miss a Stone Edge right there. So rock moves are always inaccurate. We always miss those moves all the time, but it really doesn't matter because I'm pretty sure I have this in the bag unless he flinches everything, but I mean, he is flinching my Tapu Bulu down right here with the Rock Slide, so that's pretty funny. But Heatran should be able to not get flinched all the way down. I can just knock it out with that, whatever. And also I have Breloom in the back, and I can just Mach Punch and knock out the Greninja. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to go into my Breloom and just pop, pick off the Greninja in one shot. Literally just like gone. Just a nice boop. So that's a GG to Trey. Now next up we got Game versus Kaylib over here. He has a much hyper offensive team with maybe potential Stealth Rock Excadrill, Spike Skarmory, maybe Spike's Greninja, maybe Ash Greninja, Victini usually Z moves, Superior could be annoying with Substitute, Leaf Storm, HP Fire, Leech Seed usually the set, and Charizard, I'm thinking it's going to be X, since looking at this hyper offensive team, it usually would appreciate Spikes and Stealth Rocks with Charizard X because it just breaks through teams. It does not care about your team, it'll break through it. So yeah, lead off with Seismitoad over here. It seems like the really good lead versus him. Pretty much matches up well versus all his Pokemon except for Superior. So I'm just going to get my Rocks, and Rocks are really good since it weakens Charizard, forces him to wrap spin with Excadrill, and maybe I can pick up a kill on Excadrill if he wants to do that, and also just chips away at sturdy Skarmory. So yeah, getting up Rocks is very, very important. And now I can go to my Heatran. Usually Superiors don't have Hidden Power Ground. He could though Leech Seed me down with Leech Seed and Sub if he got the predicts right. But maybe he doesn't want to do that. Maybe he doesn't have the set. So I throw off a Magma Storm right there as he goes to Victini. Sadly, I miss. That would have been a nice chip damage because it actually matters if I hit that Magma Storm right there. Maybe I should have predicted him to switch and go for an Earth Power, but I don't know. Just an off chance he wanted to, you know, glare me or substitute with a Superior, hoping that I'd miss Magma Storm. Yeah, I don't want that to happen as I go for an Earth Power. So over here I go for Earth Power as he throws off the Z Celebrate. Now I predict him to want to have Focus Blast, so now I'm going to go with my Tapu Bulu as I can take the Focus Blast. I doubt he's going to go for Searing Shot or Stored Power since it doesn't knock out Heatran, and he does not want to take an Earth Power. So take that Focus Blast, but then I'm looking at my team like I don't have a good switch into this Victini. It kind of murks my team a lot, especially if he got Stealth Rocks up, but he didn't, so lucky for me. So I sack my Tapu Bulu over here, as I feel like it doesn't really do much with 2 Steel types on the team. I mean, it could hit Excadrill, but Skarmory, it's like, Scarf Tapu Bulu is not going to do too much, and a Charizard as well. Even though I can get a Stone Edge off if it is going to be not Dragon Dance Charizard X, and it doesn't get +1. So I go to Seismitoad, and I live that Stored Power, but unfortunately, the Victini lives that Earth Power. So I'm like, that is where that Magma Storm miss really, really sucked, because then I would put it in range of hitting it or knocking it out with my Seismitoad Earthbound. So I'm like, well, lost my Seismitoad for nothing, so that's really, really bad for me. Not looking too good. Now I gotta hope that Aerodactyl can live a hit, which it should be able to. I think it might have been a really, really, really low roll to knock me out, if any. So that's why he really needed to try and get Stealth Rocks up, so that Victini could literally murk my entire team. Though I think Seismitoad will still live a Sword Power, but he would probably be still healthy enough to live a Earth Power. So luckily I do live that Sword Powered, and I knock him out to Stone Edge, not missing, or else that would have been a game right there by Victini. And I already uploaded some sweeps with Victini, so you already know the power. So it brings in Greninja. I'm going to switch into Reuniclus over here. Predicting to probably want to throw off a Water Shuriken, which he does. I was expecting to probably be Choice Specs. Looking at the damage, I was like, interesting, that's like pretty good damage. But he turns out to be Life Orb and hits 4 times, so that kind of sucks. I don't want to take a Dark Pulse since he is Life Orb. So I'm like, alright, let me go into Breloom and take this Dark Pulse. Now, I'm kind of forced to Mach Punch now, unless I want to be a god and predict him to switch. Which I'm not going to do, because if I literally do not Mach Punch, I lose the game to Greninja right here, right now. So that's why I was like, yeah, he could be crazy and just try and go for, I don't know, Ice Beam if he does have that. So I'm just going to Mach Punch and just hope that he stacks Greninja, but he doesn't. I mean, he makes a smart play going to Skarmy, because it just gives him more chances of winning the game. Because if he lost his Greninja, then that's pretty much throwing away the game for him. But just not chance. Like, if he did, like, I would have lost the game if I didn't Mach Punch, and he stayed in. So anyways, yeah, Skarmy comes in, gets a hazard up as I go into Heatran, and I just knock that guy out with a Magma Storm. So that's really good for me. I mean, I'll take that. And now he brings an extra drill. I'm like, okay, I'd rather just stay in and sack Heatran, because I don't want him to Rap Spin, because Charizard is a really big threat for my team, like huge threat. One of the biggest Pokemon that I'm scared of on his team, so that's why I stay in and just go for Magma Storm, because he either Rap Spins or he Earthquakes or gets a Rocks. One of those. Because I'm pretty sure Skarmy got a Spike Up. So, knock out Extra Drill. So Heatran put in a lot of work right there. As he brings in Greninja, he can just fire off a Hydro Pump. So now I'm like, alright, let's go Reuniclus over here. And it actually throws off a Water Shuriken. So I guess that still probably would knock out Heatran from that range. But you could only hit 2 times, so that's really risky. So he hits 5 times on my Reuniclus. I'm like, well, that sucks. Alright, I was going to sack Reuniclus either way, though. But that really sucks since he got 5 hits, because maybe I could have kept Reuniclus in the bag, but at the same time, it didn't really do too much versus his team, since I was expecting Charizard X to just literally Flare Blitz me, and since I lost Tapu Bulu, the Grassy Seed isn't really going to help me at all either way. So I wasn't really utilizing the Grassy Seed too much on Reuniclus, these Wi-Fi battles, but on Showdown I was. So, bringing Breloom, and now I predict him to switch out, because I was like, you know what, I just got to do it. I can't let Charizard come in for free as I go for a Mach Punch. So then I go for the Spore, got the Charizard on the switch, and I'm like, yes, now I want to go into my Aerodactyl over here. I was thinking about going for Roost, but at the same time, I was like, if he wakes up, down goes Aerodactyl, and he turns out to be Charizard Y, so I was like, okay, this might actually help me with the Drought. So I want to keep Drought up as much as possible, so that's why I was like, okay, yeah, I want to Stone Edge and knock out this Charizard as fast as possible. I thought it would be X, but really surprised it was Charizard Y. Hey, I'll take that. I mean, Charizard Y does benefit from all the spikes and stuff, because it really weakens all the special defense walls I'd like to switch in on Charizard Y, so makes sense. So, Aerodactyl goes down to Water Shuriken. I mean, that's to be expected. Takes a nice Life Orb damage. And now I go to Breloom. And I'm praying that he stays in and tries to knock me out Water Shuriken, even though I'm pretty sure I can live 3 hits in the sun, even though it's my Breloom is so low. So he actually makes a smart play going to Superior and waste the Drought turns. And 2-shot to Superior, which is amazing with the Mach Punches, but now Drought is gone. And now Greninja with Life Orb is going to demolish me with Water Shuriken, because Breloom is not going to live 2 shots at least. Might have lived 3 with the sun up, but not 2 when there's no sun. So Heatran comes out. I'm praying that he goes for Hydro Pump and misses, but Water Shuriken should easily just knock me out, since Heatran is offensive and I'm not Spadef, and yeah, Greninja is just so dang strong. It's broken. Not really broken, but I mean, it's so dang good. I don't know, some people would say it's broken, but I don't know. It's really fast and really strong, so it's hard to play against. Like, my team doesn't have too much for a Greninja if it's a Life Orb. Dark Pulse kind of just like murks me. My best bet is like Tapu Bulu, so maybe I should have kept Tapu Bulu and not sacked it, which was a mistake on my part. I should have just probably sacked like Seismitoad like I did. But still, that Victini with the Z Celebrate, dodging that Magma Storm really sucked as well, because then maybe if I kept my Seismitoad, I could have beaten the Greninja down. So last game we got versus Trey again. So I actually didn't realize that I battled Trey 2 times with this team, since I think we battled like, you know, week apart from these 2 battles from the earlier battle I showed. So He probably doesn't remember my team, and heck, I didn't even remember battling him with his team, so I didn't remember either. But looking at his team, he looks like he has Mega Latios, probably Rocks-Tran, I would say, maybe Scarflando, and then Rotom probably Defog, maybe Swords Dance, Z-Move, Mimikyu, could be Z-Move Landers as well, and Tangrowth could be bulky with Rocky Helmet, or a Soul Vest. Soul Vest probably, since he doesn't appreciate Tapu Koko too well in his team. Unless he can play around it really nicely. I mean, Tangrowth couldn't take a hit here and there, even if it's not a Soul Vest. So, gonna lead off with Seismitoad. Matches up well versus a lot of his team, and he leads off with Landorus. So, right off the bat, he does not want to stay in on a potential Scald, obviously. He does not go for a U-turn as well, so that gives me information that he might not be a Choice Scarf Landorus. So I'm thinking he might be bulky Landorus, or just maybe, you know, non-U-turn. Maybe offensive. But he brings in Latios, which is to be expected, since Latios can take a Scald and it's immune to Earth Power. So I'm pretty sure I could take a hit from the Mega Latios, so I stay in, and he just throws off a Psychic. Usually Mega Latios don't carry your Energy Ball. The only time I ran into a Latios with like a Grass move was like a Z move Latios with Grassy and Z. It was weird. But it knocked out my DNC, so I was like really surprised. But yeah, I throw off Toxic because I wanted to put the Mega Latios on a timer. And now he switches into Pokedex over here as I switch out my Seismitoad because I kind of wanted to predict him to want to stay in and just maybe Psychic me again or potentially switch out. So over here, I predict him to not want to stay in, and I go into my Aerodactyl over here, but unfortunately, he went for the Will-O-Wisp. So I guess he thought that I was a slower type of Bulu, and he could take a Wood Hammer to the face, but I was like, dang it, man, now my Aerodactyl's burned, and now it's pretty much useless. So I bring back my Tapu, and I guess he's not expecting Choice Scarf at all. Like, I thought maybe he would have, because, you know, last time he didn't, maybe this time he would, even though I don't remember battling him with this team, but he doesn't. So down goes Rotom, and I'm like, alright, well, I'll take that. I mean, he got rid of the rocks, at least, which is good for him, but I knocked him out. I thought he would probably want to go into Tangrowth, so that's why I wanted to go into not even Tangrowth, but Aerodactyl just, like, really did well with Ice Fang and Fire Fang and Stone Edge, but now since it's burnt, it really doesn't do much. So I'm going to Heatran over here. I can take an Earthquake in the Grassy terrain, and just throws off a knockoff, which doesn't matter since I have my Firium Z, and that can't be knocked off. So, brings in Landorus over here, as I think I just fire off in Earth Power? Yeah, Earth Power, as he brings in Landorus T, because I thought he would not go into Landorus T, obviously. So, bringing my Tapu over here, since I'm pretty sure I could take anything like an Earthquake, but he just throws off a Stone Edge, so I'm like, okay, interesting. Stone Edge, Landorus T, maybe it's Rocky MZ is what I'm guessing. So I'm going to switch on my Tapu and go into my Seismitoad, because maybe he would not want to stay in and go back into one of his Tangrowth. And honestly, over here, I was like, he's not going to Giga Drain at all. Like, I know he's not going to Giga Drain. If anything, he's probably going to double. So that's why I stay in over here, and I go for my Stealth Rocks, as I predict him to want to switch out. And that was a risky play, but I know I just had to do it. I had to do it to him. I had to do it to him. As he brings in Landorus T, so I'm like, alright. I'm getting all this grassy terrain and this Leftovers recovery. I should be able to live with any hit Landorus wants to go for. So I'm just going to fire off a Scald. But this man throws off the Fly EMZ. I'm like, ah, oh, you dirty dog. You have Stone Edge and Fly EMZ. I've never seen that. This dirty man. No, I'm just kidding. But hey, that's a cool tech, since I don't really run into that too much. Usually we would see like Swords Dance, Fly EMZ with Earthquake, and maybe Stealth Rocks or Out Polish, other moves. You don't really see Stone Edge with Fly EMZ too much. But caught me off guard, and down goes Seismitoad. So I'm like, alright, whatever. Now I go into Breloom over here, and I just fire for Bullet Seed. Since Bullet Seed in Grassy terrain, when banded, oh, it does so much damage. Look at Mega Latios taking this Bullet Seeds, and barely taking them at least, and it goes down to 3 Bullet Seeds. You ever see Latios go down to Bullet Seed? No. And at least I hit 3 times right there, because if I hit 2 times, I would cry, because then I'll have to switch out into a Mega Latios. But now in comes Tangrowth, and over here I think I just go for another Bullet Seed, because I wasn't really threatened by Tangrowth when it came in. I was like, I mean, what is it going to do, knock me off? I mean, I'm okay with that. Usually Tangrowth would have like HP Ice, Earthquake, Knockoff, Giga Drain, so I was like, I'll just Bullet Seed, and plus I think he might just switch out again. So I get that play rate, and he goes in Landorus, and I hit that guy up with a nice Bullet Seed. So I'm like, alright, he's pretty much forced to go for a Fly if he wants to knock me out, so he does just go for the Fly, and now I'm like, alright, I'll switch out, and I'll go into Aerodactyl since I can take a Fly for days, and then maybe I can get my Mega off and knock him out with the Ice Fang, so pretty nice for me. Fly does do a decent chunk since it is Stab, and, you know, Landorus is a bulky, or, you know, really strong monster. But now I can Mega Evolve and just go for a nice Fang. So he brings in Heatran over here. Pretty risky since maybe I would have Earthquake, and that would do a decent chunk even though I'm burnt. I mean, Heatran is 4 times weak to it. But unfortunately, I missed that Ice Fang, which doesn't really matter unless I got a freeze on him, since I would have done jack diddly nothing when I'm burnt and he's 4 times resisted. So he switches out Heatran over here into Tangrowth, and I just throw off Stone Edge because I was like, you know, might as well chip down the Heatran. Maybe he's Spadef Heatran and I need to chip him away, and that will put him in range of my Earth Power for my Heatran. So now I go to my Heatran over here because I do not expect him to want to go for an Earthquake at all. If anything, he'd probably want to throw off a Giga Drain like he did right there, or maybe Hidden Power Ice. So he switches out over here, back in his Heatran, and I think I clicked Firium Z over here just prematurely. Probably should have just clicked Earth Power, but I was really scared of Earthquake. Like, I did not want the Tangrowth to go for an Earthquake, so I was like, he can just stay in here and live a hit. So he makes a nice play going to his Heatran and gets that Flash Fire, and pretty much gets immune to my Heatran's Firium Z. So now I throw off Earth Power. It seems to be that he is the same Spadef Heatran, but I get a crit right there, so that is very unfortunate. Even though his Heatran was weakened, I think he might have lived that if he was Spadef, like last time. But yeah, that's pretty unfortunate. He got a crit. I got a crit right there. So now he brings in his Landers over here. I do not want to take an Earthquake, so I'm going to switch out and go to my Tapu Bulu, since I can hopefully take anything, even a Stone Edge is what I'm hoping for. As he makes a nice play going for the Stone Edge right there, predicting me to switch out, and I do not take that Stone Edge right there, so I'm like, dang it, oh well. At least I got the Grassy up. So now I go to Aerodactyl over here, since I can just fire off an Ice Fang. If he does want to stay in, it will knock him out, and he does stay in, so that's really nice for me. And also his Heatran is gone, so not really too good switch-ins with Aerodactyl, but at the same time, he still has decent switch-ins like Mimikyu, but he doesn't want his Disguise to get broken. So I stay in over here, go for Ice Fang. Potential flinch or freeze on the Mimikyu is what I'm hoping for. I don't want to go for Fire Fang and hope for a burn, because I'd rather freeze it than burn it. And Stone Edge has less accuracy than those two moves, so that's why I went for Ice Fang. As he turns out to be red card, and in comes the Breloom, and I think he went for Play Rough right there, but missed, so I was like, okay, interesting. And then he goes for a Swords Dance, which I don't agree with, but at the same time, I understand it, because he needs to be at least +2 to knock out my Heatran, because say he Play Rough my Breloom, I go into Heatran, he can't really do too much to my Heatran. He has to like Swords Dance up to do something, and even that can't even knock out Heatran, so I get it. He's probably hoping that I'll choke away the game, or that, you know, I'd switch fearing the Play Rough and maybe I go into Heatran, and he goes for a Swords Dance. But at the point of the game, I was like, you know, I'd rather sack Breloom. Like, I just Bolt Seed and there, down it goes. Not bad. So now at this point in the game, I can just bring in Reuniclus and pretty much just win the game with Reuniclus, because Tangrowth can't really break through Reuniclus. And yeah, I can just Calm Mind up and go for some Psy Shocks, because I need to Calm Mind up here and there, since neutral Reuniclus won't do anything to the Tangrowth. And it's the safest bet, since the rest of my mons could miss moves and not knock out Tangrowth. And Reuniclus has reliable recovery, so just ensuring the 100% guaranteed victory over here, unless he gets back-to-back critical hits. So that's going to be a GG to Trey. And yeah, that's going to be the games. Hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, do your thing. And the common question of the day is going to be, what is your favorite Grassy, well, I guess like seed Pokemon? Like Howlucha, I don't know, what are some unburdened mons that, or any other seed mon? Like, I see in VGC people use like Zapdos and Tapu Fini with Misty Seed. So I don't know, what's your favorite one? I feel like I'm going to see a bunch of Howluchas, but maybe you'll see a cool Drifblim with Unburden, I don't know. Or a Sceptile with Unburden with the seed, because pretty much my question is, what do you use with, you know, Grass Seed, Misty Seed, what's the other ones? Electric Seed and Psychic Seed. You know, what Pokemon? Because there is some few mons, because I had Reuniclus with Grass Seed, but I didn't really get to show off that too much. But when it gets that +1 defense, it's hard to knock out, that's for sure. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, do your thing, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace, peace.